right, let's go! Hey everybody, welcome to my lovely channel. Today we're going to talk about, with you rockstars, we're going to talk about subtracting integers using models. Very important topic, very important topic. Hey, did you guys hear about the new restaurant called Karma? Yeah, there's no menu. You just get what you deserve. Karma. If you don't know what karma means, that's not a very funny joke. If you do, it's only a little bit funny. All right, let's get going. Okay, so today the goal is we're going to demonstrate an understanding of subtracting integers. Remember, integers are positive and negative numbers that are parts of a whole. That are whole numbers, not negative, not fractions and decimals and all that jazz. So -1, -2, -3, -4, forever. 1, 2, 3, 4, forever. And 0 in the middle, okay? So we're gonna work on using integers in subtraction, all right? This becomes tricky, and this is always something that challenges my students. So let's lock in, let's learn, and let's see what we can do here. Okay, first off, let's do a little vocabulary. Difference. You're gonna see this a lot when you're doing integer operations. And difference is simply, when you're doing a subtraction problem, it's the answer to a subtraction problem that describes the result of subtracting one number from another. It's basically the gap between two numbers or the disparity between two numbers. For example, if we subtract 3 from 5, how far is that gap? It's 2. 5 minus 3 is 2. The gap, the difference between the two is 2. Okay, so a guiding concept that's going to go through this whole subtracting integers using models is going to be the value does not change if a 0 pair is added. Okay, so a value does not change. So for example, what do I have right now? I have 3. Okay, so I have 3 yellow discs, which means I have a total of 3. All right, and now if I add this to it, so if I put this 0 pair on the screen, I put a positive and a negative. Well, they cancel each other out, right? That's what a 0 pair is. 1 and a -1 equals 0. I put another one there. So now I have 2 positives and 2 negatives. Well, they cancel each other out, right? Because 3 plus 0 equals 3, right? So let's go back and look at that. So 3, this is a 0 pair, and this is a 0 pair. So I still have 3 because these 0 pairs cancel each other out. And you may be saying, why would you ever do that? You're going to see here in a second. All right, so now let's look at this number right here. We have 4 minus 3. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is my first number is a positive 4. So let's go ahead and put 4 positive chips up. Easy enough. Next, I need to take away 3 positive chips, or 3 plus 1, or 3 positive chips, okay? So if that's the case, because remember, this is a 4, this is a subtraction sign, and the thing above it, if there's no symbol there, it is a positive. So if I have 4 minus 3, I could just simply take those away, and my answer is 1. Remember, because we talked about this in other videos, if you don't see a sign in front of the number, it is positive. So this would be, you could read it this way, but you never would. You could say positive 4 minus a positive 3 equals 1. So we simply went back and we put our 4 up there, and then we took 3 away. Well, that's pretty easy, right? Well, that's the easiest scenario you will get, okay, is when you have a positive minus a positive. All right? Now, how do we show that on a number line? Okay, so we're going to have a positive 4, so we're going to start at positive 4. Okay, you can do this a couple different ways. I like to say we start at positive 4, so we go to positive 4. Some places will just not have you going to positive 4. They'll just be, they'll only do one little, they'll do one mark. They'll do this next mark. So if I was at positive 4 and I lose 3 positives, I come back to here. So I went 1, 2, 3 back to here, and I get my answer as 1. Okay? So that does the same thing as the chips, right? And so what I'm saying is some people do it like this. They just take from the 4, because that's where you started, and they go 3 backwards. And they still get a 1. Both of those work in my opinion. So you go 4 to the right. Minus sign means opposite, so go opposite of 3. And you go 3 left, and you end up with that answer. All right, now let's look at this one. What do we do first? I need to place 2 -1 chips. 2 negative chips there. So here they come. Boom. And I'm going to subtract a positive 3. So this one's a little different. I can't do that. I don't have any positive chips. I can't circle them and shush them off the screen. So what do I have to do? Well, this is where that 0 pair comes in. Let me go ahead and add my 3 positive chips. Okay, so the positives are yellow, so I added them to my scenario, and I also added a negative because I didn't want my value to change. So remember, if we look at this right now, what does it show? It shows that I have -2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. So I still just have -2 up here, and that's why zero pairs are pretty magical. So now we're going to do the next step, which is I added my zero pairs so that I would have 3 positives. I needed to have those 3 positives for the next step. Now take away those 3 positive chips. Because remember, it's -2 minus +3. So we're going to circle those. And we're going to take them away. And whatever I have left is my answer. I have 5 negative chips left over. Pretty simple, right? So how does that look on a number line? Okay, so the first thing you do is go 2 to the left. I'm at 0. I go 2 to the left because that's a -2. And then I'm going to, my sign means opposite, so go the opposite of 3, which means go 3 to the left. Remember, start using that sign when you see the minus sign. You can play around with the word opposite from time to time, and that'll get you where you need to go. Where did we end up? We ended up at -5. Same thing as the number chips. All right, here we go. Same scenario. I need to place 4 chips because I have a +4, so I go ahead and put my 4 chips up there. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And we're going to subtract a -2. Okay? I can't take away negative chips because I don't have any up there. So what do I have to do? Zero pair time. I need to add 2 zero pairs because I need these 2 negative chips in order to complete my problem. All right, so what do we do then? Let me erase my markings. So at that point, now take away the 2 negative chips. So I'm going to take the 2 away. Boom. See ya. And then whatever's left over is my answer. I have 6 yellow tiles. And that may be weird to you. Like, how can I take a -2 away from something and get a 6? Well, let's check it out here. Maybe this makes a little better. Makes more sense. Now, pay attention to the wording I'm going to use. So I start at 4, and I go to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's my 4. I'm at 4. And I'm going to, the minus sign means opposite. So I'm going to go the opposite of -2. Well, what's the opposite of -2? So -2 normally goes that direction, doesn't it? So what's the opposite of that direction? It's this direction. So I'm going to go the opposite. So I'm going to go to the right 2 more. And I'm going to end up at 6. It's just all happening, isn't it? It's all happening. Let's go and do another one. So I have -3. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to put a -3 up there. All right, here they come. And I am going to take away -1 chip. Do I need to do any zero pairs? No, I don't need to because I already have a -1 chip. So I just go ahead and take that one away. Booyah. Slide them away. And what's left over is my answer. Very simple, huh? How does that look on a number line? Well, I go to -3. So I got to start at 0 and go to -3. Boom. Okay. Then what do? This negative sign means the opposite. So I go the opposite of -1. -1 would tell us to go this way. So the opposite tells us to go this way, 1. And I end up at 2. I'm sorry, -2. And that would be our answer. You just got to put the chips in, or you got to place them on the number line and walk your way through it, and you'll get to the answers, all right? All right, not bad, y'all. Not bad at all. Pretty simple. Just make sure you're understanding of using the words opposite, using takeaway when you're playing with that number line as well, okay? Well done. Do you know why bees have sticky hair? Because they use a honeycomb. Honeycomb! That's funny, y'all. If you ain't laughing, then you don't understand bees or humor. Check you later.